pitches here in Texas. Only one more game to be played at the stadium. It's a semi-final.
Interesting, Mendes going really close to him there as that ball is switched.
One or two of the good and the great of the era there. Carlos Puyol to the left.
Yes.
He's the predecessor to Cucurella with the hair. It's a great excuse for the whole team to get the ball back together. It's going to make the place from here. Apologising for not playing for the left, but in the form he's in, why not have a shot?
Yeah, I think he's done exactly the right thing there. Pitch the ball nicely. And again.
Tentative in his early moments defensively. Spain win it back again in Portuguese territory.
I was just going to say, Martin, one of the most fascinating matchups is these two guys. They're in close quarters right now. The Neymar and Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes, such an attack-minded fullback, will charge forward at every opportunity. Does Lamine go with him? Does he track him? Or does he stay and hope that his teammates can turn the ball over and then find him really quickly?
It's from Diaz, João Cancelo. Diaz is the one player in the game, I think, from the starting 11s who's running the risk of missing the quarter-final to repeat, get to the yellow card in this round of 16. For you to make your point again because he had run well off Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, we've gone with him.
Maybe that's the tactic. Leave it to the defenders.
It's going to leave it yet to Pedro Porro.
Quite an attacking player himself. Barca with the brave dispute, really. Dragging the ball back in his own penalty area and putting it forward. Here's Bruno Fernandes, one of a legion of star players. There's been so much about Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno hasn't really made the headlines. He's finished a fabulous season with Manchester United. Football Review, that's the Football Writers, the PFA Player of the Year. Ray heads away. Zabal scored the very late winning goal in that European final against England. Danny Olmo. Lots of room. Olmo again. So important. You've been through this to get your touches in early to feel that you're part of the game.
Oh, definitely. You want to take part in these matches, Mark. You don't want to let it all skip past you. And that can happen sometimes. It really can, as hard as you try and you want to get amongst it all. The game seems to operate down the other side of the field or in other areas. It just can't seem to get involved enough.
Coutinho. Marto Vega playing it back to his goalkeeper. He was the player who inadvertently touched the ball. The offside call was correct to stop Croatia equalising right at the very end. And here comes Portugal. Despite the first blow here. Playing the keeper touched it. I think the officials have gone on with that. That's very positive.
Yeah, he's another one that likes to gallop, charge forward, particularly if there's space in front of him. João Cancelo will eat it up, literally. Probably, so we've got a game where we've got four more attack-minded fullbacks than what we've got on view here this evening.
forward by Kubasi. There you go. She does play in Spain, the Villarreal. And a lot of clubs for one so young. Proudly boasts these big 7 different languages. She's a fantastic life skill in itself, let alone with football. There he is. Sorting out by Rodrigue. Left area. Here's Daniel. Spurned his chance.
It's pretty unfortunate. The one touch step there, Danny Arnold in that number 10 position. The first time that he's moves up is absolutely inch perfect. On his left foot, all he had to do is look at the goal and hit the target. He's actually well wide of the target. That's a poor strike, really. From someone that's been amongst the goals and has looked very reliable in that sort of situation, that's a big moment.
I see. First header. Forcing João Felix a bit wider than he might have been in the team, having been left out for the Croatia goal.
Stop in front of Pedro Porro. It's not a flying machine in that area. João Felix, but very, very talented and has great awareness of a teammate running into a good position.
Fernandes lining up the corner. Taylor is well used to dealing with pushing and shoving. What the Premier League is laying out the set pieces. He's there, Ronaldo trying to get through. He's being tapped back actually. Pedro Neto with pace. Look at that.
Yeah, it was Rodri that was marking Cristiano Ronaldo. Trying to work a little block.
There's Rodri. Portugal. No great faith, but Luis Enrique playing together, we've really got self-confidence into a player who now plays as though he believes he runs the world.
Yeah, he's been outstanding for his club, PSG, and at the heart of their success over the last couple of seasons.
Also, Luis Enrique with the coach of Spain over the last World Cup. He didn't do very well, he's admitted that. He lost to Morocco.
Watch this here, this is that little block, Martin. Watch, he tries to run, see that? They just deliberately, so Ronaldo can just try and be a bit elusive as far as Rodri is concerned. But I can't grab over him a little bit, but as ever, got away with it. There's a lot of that goes on in the Montgomery field. And then do the little step over, but just might have made the shot in the end that little bit harder to execute. First job was done there, it's happy, not the goalkeeper save.
Portugal will be the first team to score against Spain here in the USA 2026. And that blocking will continue as Fernandes lines up the corner, drills it quick back. Zabal gets to it. in terms of population. And space going to be the bigger here on the football field at the Elmo.
Yeah, and I think, Martin, these two teams, because they've got so many talented players that know each other, I think they're going to have these little spells, both teams, where they feel like they're getting on top and then very quickly it can change.
There's Pedro. Down the right-hand side, but going in the opposite direction to Cucurella. Just left his English club Chelsea for Real Madrid. Going back home.
He did just for a split second. Thought the goalie was going to come and sort that himself. And just quickly had to make sure that he tidied it up.
Rodri. Pedro. Players who started in international football at a ridiculously young age, held back a bit with injuries. Pedro Porro, 21 previous games, only 6 Portugal wins. Spain win, and that 3-3 draw in Share, another fabulous action. It's in Sochi, the club stage in Russia. Then Mendes is off and running. Bruno Fernandes and very difficult, but it's a bold run, typical of the man. And here comes Rooney now. Cut it back in. We have to work both sides of his body and keep it at 0-0. And that's a take the corner. That's out to the leading now. Pushing across, still might be on for Spain here. Now with the cross again.
Great defense again, Ruben Diaz, making sure he knocks that one away. Some teasing crosses delivered there by Lamine Yamal. Some really good stuff. That's a Really good passage of play.
Barcelona, of course. Running repairs for Nuno Mendes. He must have played against Deco.
Not sure, Martin. Not sure if I did.
Your part of the pitch.
Yeah. Carlos Sosa in the Rui Costa era. Luis Figo is mine. Just after those boys.
So, Bucharest. Both sides so far have had moments. Right again. They put a real chance of getting Pedro Neto and Bucharest, of course, clubmates until
Yes,
last month.
correct. Just a few weeks ago.
On that far side, but not in that particular incident. Did Emmett Smith, really a legend of the NFL, particularly in this part of the world. Generally, they've made such a wonderful job of converting these NFL grounds to this, the world game. And the work that's gone on here, the pitch that we mentioned before, if you haven't heard it, is 4 feet beneath the grass. When you look at those blue lines across the far side, they're actually protecting executive boxes and glass behind those at pitch level above the advertising. That's get it all in because the NFL pitch is so much narrower than a football pitch. Work that goes unnoticed. Get these kind of special occasions up and running. Mendes.
Neat and tidy, as you would expect, both teams when they've got the ball, when they've got good possession.
There's Pedro Neto, left-footed, but often prefers to play on the right. Shot offside position. Pedri. Run from Bayern, but he thought he'd be in. Pedri had seen it. Dani Olmo to leave Spain to make his career. Actually, Barcelona let him go at 17. Made a lot of money to get him back. Olmo again. Roger Clara made a run in behind Nuno Mendes and João Felix would have policed that near side as we look. By referee Taylor. Okay, they're beginning to feel he's being put upon here by João Cancelo.
He's actually given that, Martin. I think he might have done. I thought for a moment that Winer was being trying to get back up on his feet, but actually,
Before the ball was played, I think that's better delay. He's got his position. That's been a good man. It's over marking from Portugal. tallest defender in the world. Close to either of them. That was an interesting hit from Pedro Porro. Edging towards the hydration break. It's a bit more than sparring, isn't it?
Yes. I think both teams have shown decent intent. The best chance as far as ball to space. He has a ball who failed to hit the target when totally in the clear. I think he'll regret that one. But
backyard ready for the FIFA World Cup? Maybe he'll build it like Beckham. Brilliant move here. David's going to Home Depot for the assist. David can flip it like Rich. Paint it like Patricia. Deliver it like David.
my big hopes.
This is so relaxing. Like or watch it all happen just like Josh. Very happy to help.
We are deep into stoppage time. Oh, they must be careful here. Hang on, they are checking it. It's going to be in the hands of the VAR.
Ontario means playgrounds with no drug injection sites nearby. It means fewer cars being stolen thanks to more police officers and prosecutors. New jails so criminals stay behind bars. Public spaces with open cabins. And bail reform that protects our neighborhoods. We're making every corner of Ontario safer to make all of Ontario safer. That's how we protect Ontario.
It does give them the opportunity sometimes when managers and coaches find it difficult to get a message across the players. Well, you can do that.
He obviously saw the Portuguese coach something that he felt he could put right with that kind of discussion. What Spain has done, perhaps, having to rely on his goalkeeper more times than he would have wanted to. Between those two.
Did well there, because Neto was after that, wasn't he? He's very quick, Pedro Neto. He gives them far more direct pace over on that side, but Cucurella is one of those defenders. He'll match anybody up and give as good as he gets.
And what Pedro Neto does, he speeds the game up, doesn't he? When he gets the ball, he's off.
He does. Yeah, he wants it in front of him. That's when he's at his best.
Straightforward line between the two players, and I think Nathan Phillips probably thinks that's his best way of getting better of Cucurella. He's pretty rapid. Bushy haired left back. Between these two have been drawn. of the last 7 in regulation time. Good way by Pedro Porro. One forward by Ruben Diaz, but he looks at the exert himself a little bit of power on the header. Coutinho. Now Cancelo. Influence proceedings. The possession here. Maybe that's the sort of Roberto Martinez was emphasising, isn't it?
Patience,
Yeah, more patience.
just keep it here, wait for that right moment to be decisive. Good forward pass. You have to go backwards, don't be afraid to. Lots of teams nowadays, we see Martin recycling the ball, going backwards, even go back as far as the goalkeeper at times.
Spain might be able to break it.
Montenegro does really well to slide in and just intercept. Had there been a little more pace on that ball,
He was
Danny Olmo, he would have been in and away. Yeah.
He's facing us.
There you go. That's the turn there. Sliding in Cucurez. There you go. Handball. It's Kubasi. Now Danny Olmo. Pedro Porro can go down the outside here, and he does it. Steaming forward.
Great run, Pedro Porro there, really good. Actually does very well with him just to recover, slide in and knock that one away. Another corner for Spain.
Their turn to involve in the blocking. It's worked. Short, back to Pedro Porro. The other fullback, Cucurez. Naturalised on the residence qualification for Spain. We're talking about where their countries of birth have been for all the players who are not representing their countries of birth. How international football's had to adapt to that with the globalisation of the population.
Away with it.
It's a remarkable record for Unai Simon. 519 minutes before this game started. Now conceding a goal. He's never been really regarded as an absolute top-class keeper. And yet, Bela Fuentes, who obviously had him young in the underage teams, he's been an absolute standout. think they've got David Raya, who's just won the Premier League with Arsenal in the Champions League final. He's more of a footballing goalkeeper, if you understand what I mean.
I think that they've got great competition, Martin, haven't they? As you say, who wants more? Not always in everyone's top 10 of world goalkeepers, but that's a great job for his team.
Where's that one? Still be ruining that missed chance, but they're all good strikers. They forget about it in the end. And think about the next one. There's the man again, for Dani Olmo's made a terrific run.
Brilliant work. He's very elusive, Dani Olmo. And then he's running in behind him, Portugal's back line, then he's playing in the pocket, in the number 10 position. Then he drops even deeper in front of Portugal's midfield. No one's ever quite sure what he is.
Correa. And by working out left-hand side, doing it by Renato Vega. Try to retreat again. Rodri. Now Pedro Porro. And then Yamal.
Foot in, so and then they're not doing the right thing, why not punch it back? Nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you.
Cancelo, back to Diego Costa.
Pressure again in Spain.
Extra sharpness you feel, don't you, Andy, about Spain?
Yeah.
You see different?
No, look, there's not a lot in the game, Martin, but Spain are so tidy in possession. They're very, very good. And Portugal, certainly, also very capable, but the Spanish team, well, there's a nice rhythm to what they do when they keep in possession.
Goalkeeper school. Talk about players from other countries. He was born in Switzerland. Diego Costa. Listed to a Portuguese family. To another qualification. Yes. Correa really took a chance there. Anything over the top of him, and Pedro Neto would have been sprinting away behind him.
The better options, Spain, I think, Martin, when they're looking forward at the moment, whether it be fullbacks getting in advanced positions as Pedro Porro is here to the right, Kubasi, or people like Dani Olmo, starting to become a little more influential. There's space.
Down there, they're struggling to find a way out. And Cancelo too, just could have been intercepted by Olmo. He's very good in the air still.
works on people on the cover here. If he does that, he's got to make sure he grabs it. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite aware of where he was.
Portugal's first attempt since the 12 minute was a very, you can get 40, 50, 60-year-olds. You've still got pictures in your head like Cristiano Ronaldo had then. To see that the goal was, there was a chance of diverting the ball to the goal.
And he'd always had that about him, Martin. Even when the legs perhaps aren't quite as powerful as they once were. His awareness, watch, decent ball in from Pedro Neto. Goalie, a little bit all over the place, but does well to get back up and recover.
Pedro Neto is at the centre of Anthony Taylor judgment that he's not quite in tune with. It will be dropped in Spain's direction.
It's a lot easier to get them boots on nowadays, Martin, isn't it? Hey, look. Just literally slide your foot in.
Those slip-in trainers, they're designed for people your age. And the boots are designed for people in this. And I've got 3 or 4 pairs here. Not trouble with. Here is central attention again. Pedro Porro is talking to.
Yeah, he's giving it as much chance as he possibly can. Anthony Taylor here. That's a little bit niggly from Pedro Porro. Full-back 1-11, a winger. Not exactly that he's there, but I don't think there'll be too many more before Anthony Taylor starts hamping down on a few of those. What a switch that is.
And what an anticipation by João Cancelo, who realised that he set up and dictated the pass. Actually, he was on his bike. Given as a corner, it might be one of those that will be checked.
Great run from João Cancelo. Portugal fullbacks, they can do that. In the first minute, they like to charge up and then knock the problem through.
And the boots now to Pedro Neto's liking. Suggested goal area, Unai Simon. We need to have a clear view of this. Particularly if it's whipped in with pace.
I presume that chunk out the back of his boot is deliberate by him.
We could go on all day about what the modern player does. I think there's an advantage to be gained. Scoring goals, the best way to get them. Purchase of the throw, but Taylor has seen something which I think means the throw will be retaken.
Yeah, Smart Correa went down, but I think Anthony Taylor had just seen them involved a little bit of the near post, so he's ordered the throw-in to be retaken.
It's not a long throw on the retake. It's a cross, the best one from Nuno Mendes. Phillips trying to bring it back. And still seeing unexpected to get the 3 quarters. Spain did have the ball, not quite in the most advantageous situation, but they've worked it back again. Ben Felix actually emerged the last 10 minutes or so as quite a significant figure in the match. Still push Portugal onwards, but doing his share in the opposite direction. Bruno Fernandes got some space here. Maybe could be a little bit more central, pass of Pedro a bit more central. Nice shot from that way.
Yeah, that's his first thought all the time, Cristiano Ronaldo now. Can he get the yard and get his shot away? Couldn't there, it was a long way out.
It's Pedro Neto. Coutinho. A number of these players were playing in the States last year with their club sides. Pedro Neto had a great tournament in the Club World Cup. He scored 3 goals. Chelsea won it. Nuno Mendes.
Oh yeah!
I'm sure has been briefed about what he's going to do. And rather than doing what he nearly accomplished a couple of minutes ago. Probably the goalkeeper's goal. He was competent to rule Arsenal.
Yeah, nice work, neat and tidy, nice and clean with the catch. And now they're just hovering a little bit in behind Unai Simon, but good work.
Spain threatening. Portugal not without a sign or two of a punch of their own. Here's Aina. Bucare. Laporte takes over. Or Danny on the found space again.
Receiving end of that one from Rodri. I think you can see down on the right side of the screen, so let's keep the ball. Always tempting now to midfield players when we're in that shooting range. And it's afterwards you often regret that perhaps you didn't just go wide and keep the pressure on. Just release all the pressure when you blast it over the bar.
I saw you blast plenty into the opponent's net, by the way.
I can tell you there was a good few that went over the top as well.
I did see some of those too. Tried to act quickly from the goalkeeper's distribution, but Portugal get back very quickly.
Ain't going to be offside, but that's better from him. He can add it to things, but also skipping behind occasionally.
Playing decent, really looking to up it before the break in. And got a free kick. Not a great angle for the challenge. No.
A long way out this one, Martin, a long way out. We have seen over the years, previous World Cups, we've seen them fly in from this sort of range, but that's a long
Well, that's a nice banner, isn't it? Legend versus the future, Ronaldo versus the moon. Yes, but it is a ball that stays hit. We've emphasised that plenty of times. We've seen some wonderful goals struck from outside the penalty area. And plenty of headers as well. Who would call the latter
pretty much according to plan, hasn't it? It's very tight. It really is. The first goal in this one is going to be huge. Whichever team is able to find it, but they've had their moments.
I think it could have been tighter, couldn't it? I mean, I was telling you, Andy, before the game, a very good friend in Portuguese football said we prepared for a long game, hinting that there would be a lot of caution involved. It's been sensible defensive play, but creativity hasn't been off the menu. That's another of the Paris Saint-Germain players involved in this game. Now Felix has a nice idea just to reverse it back. It's not too much on it. Doing that touching and carrying and passing responsibility to the ball others. There's Abel Correa. There's Abel again. Spain going nowhere in that passage of play.
Yeah, it's getting too deep there, please, Abel. Getting involved in here, we don't really want to be doing that.
He's really late developer. They played him through the middle of his club and now for his country, and now through the middle and the other end is Felix. We've never really settled in one club. Orizaba has only played for one club, Real Sociedad, whereas Pedro Correga's careering across. But João Felix has been around the block a few times.
Oh, he has. Yes, he has.
Not settled.
Never really stuck it out for a significant period of time anyway. But he's talented. He's a very talented boy. He can play in a number of positions. He can play as a 10. He's playing off one side. It's not ideal for him today, but both teams, Martin, have got some good players on the bench, who can have a big effect in this game too. It might come to that. It might well come to whichever manager is brave enough to make those changes first. That could be the difference.
Shot deflecting onto the crossbar. Once this would seem good, the Costa's had to make some saves. Could give more saves than his opposite number.
Wow! What a tense game! Who here cheering for Spain? Who's here cheering for Portugal? To host the Portuguese national team, and there was some party at the street of Little Portugal. I was there, it was incredible. And who saw the love for Toronto from Ronaldo? CR7, you saw that, that was incredible. And let me get one thing that the city of Toronto is, our communities are very proud, and we're not afraid to represent where we came from. But football brings all of us together. It's, football, soccer. Who wants to call it soccer? Yeah, no? Football, anybody? Football? Football. We'll call it football, man. It's an honor to be able to play this at Nathan Phillips Square. And because Toronto is so diverse, everybody's welcome. Everybody feels they belong, and we have more of the game to come. Let me hear you one more time. Those of you cheering for CR7 Ronaldo, and those of you cheering for Spain, who is cheering for football? the second part. Anyway, we'll be back.
With every FIFA World Cup meal.
Podcast audio editions. Listen on Audible.
So at half-time, the opening game of the day at the World Cup in Dallas between Portugal and Spain. This is the Coca-Cola half-time, and Cristiano Ronaldo with both of Portugal's shots on target in the first half of this one. They've had 5 shots in total. Spain with 55% of the possession, 8 shots, of which 3 of them have been on target. As we welcome you back inside our studios here in downtown Cuba, at Jack Boulevard, quite a crowd mixed today between Spain and Portugal out there. There hasn't been an awful lot for these fans to cheer in the first 45 minutes of this one. Luke Wan, Stephen Cobble, Tiva Hutchison and Kevin Kilban with you here. And Stevie, have Spain probably looked at their most dangerous on the counter today?
Yeah, turnovers for Portugal have created some big opportunities for Spain, and that is when they've looked most dangerous, I would say, when they get that ball played really quickly down the centre of Portugal, and it's been quite effective. And they should be in the lead from some of these chances. It's comfortable possession in a lot of ways for Portugal. When they give it away, you see the big gaps there that are possible for Spain to go into. Almost been excellent. He's been a key. Keeper highlighted him at times, being that key man in between the lines. And some of his passes at Steve in terms of his vision, picking people out, has been really good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. You see that moment where he gets into position to make that final pass, and he had 1 or 2 other ones where he almost got a few slipping in one into letting him out. But great efforts from all. I think the game has kind of been back and forth. They were just testing each other out. They don't want to really do too much. They want to make sure they're organized. It's a little bit slow at times, Kev.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit nervy. It's been suffocated really in the middle of the park. I think Rodri's been the standout player really for Spain, and it just hasn't really ignited yet the way we maybe envisaged it might do. But I think that's because of the quality on both sides. It's been a little bit of a stalemate right now, Luke.
Talk about Portugal in a minute, because they probably had their best spell towards the end of the half, but before that, in the middle of the half, what worked for Spain as they got the dominance?
Yeah, I thought Spain were dominating the game in the middle of it, Luke, and I think they were establishing themselves in the match, had more of the possession. Felt like Rodri was controlling that first half more than anybody else. And little half chances, I wouldn't see too much, but little kind of mid-length crosses, offside on here, but we don't know if he's offside the first ball. Keeper does quite well. Costa, he's actually been retained on a few occasions, but nothing to shout about, Ken, was it? A lot of bits here and there. The game's ready to ignite, hopefully. We just feel like, as we said, that both teams are well reserved and they don't want to lose rather than go out there and win the game.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times as well. We looked at that pass before the game with Nuno Mendes and Lamine Yamal. Mendes a couple of times has got forward, and that's created a bit of space for Lamine Yamal. That's where the challenge is probably going to come from overall. There might be good counter teams, and it's just stagnated really in different areas, but I think more so in the middle of the park because of the quality that's on show, I suppose.
That's right, yeah, Kev. I think maybe the last 15 minutes or so is where you've seen Spain get a little bit more comfortable and play the game that we've seen them, used to playing in and around the box with some, good movements in behind. But yeah, both teams are not playing at a high level right now. It's
Spain's still yet to concede a goal in this tournament. In fact, it's an ongoing record right now. 564 World Cup minutes going all the way back to the group stages of Qatar since Unai Simon last conceded a goal in the World Cup. Portugal's best opportunities probably came towards the break. Cristiano Ronaldo, the lowest touches of anyone with just 12, but the most shots on target. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this Ronaldo before. It's not going to be a concern for Ronaldo with him not having too much involvement in the game, but he comes alive in the box, and he's just with the 2 touches he's had as great chances for himself, really. And first one came about and a little bit of chances for themselves, and you feel as though that's what this game is going to be. Ronaldo on the angle, little step up, we've seen that from him so often, but the angle is against him, and it was comfortable enough really for Unai Simon with the angle against Ronaldo. But that's where Spain speed. It's been a couple of half chances for Ronaldo, the 2 shots on target, nothing else really to go on really for Portugal.
This is his element, it's perfect for what he's trying to do. He's a bit unlucky there actually with that one, but that was a good move from Portugal. It was the first time they could have strung kind of 8-10 passes together and ended up getting a, they check the box and an opportunity in, but I would say it's been really tense. I think both these sides know the first goal of Tiba is going to be vitally important. It is in a lot of knockout games, but I think with the quality of the teams and the way that they have this control over the game, slow football, that first goal is going to be vital, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think for Ronaldo, that's all he needs to think about. Not to do too much, in the open play, but be in those positions and take your chance when it comes. I think a real highlight for Portugal has been Mendes. He's been really exciting, really good going forward, doing the right things defensively. So maybe they can get a little bit more from him in the second half and create that pass or get a goal from that.
It is a third all-time World Cup meeting between these teams. When they met last round of 16 back in 2010, they needed to go to a damning clear goal and 1-0 was the final score. Now on the second half action on the way. The US or Belgium awaits it in the World Cup qualifier.
1 plus 1 equals more of the greatest stories. On Disney Plus, stories about
Dangerous planet.
murder,
Prophecy.
beer, and propane.
Game of the moon.
Best of the best stories now with even more from Hulu. Amazing! Have it all with Hulu on Disney Plus. Aww. Ben's gonna miss him.
Track your spending so you know when you can say yes. With TD MySpend. It's our making Bane more human.
collectible cup for free with every FIFA World Cup meal.
TSN.ca and the TSN app, we've got even more World Cup news, highlights and reaction from across the tournament, including the latest reaction to FIFA lifting the match ban on foreign Balogun for tonight's game for the US against Belgium. Got some moments of the action and keep up to date with your favourite teams with TSN.ca and the TSN app. Here's the view of downtown Seattle, where tonight the host nation, United States, will take on Belgium in the round of 16. Whoever wins this one will play the winner of this first game between Portugal and Spain. 8 o'clock Eastern.
Should we do some cheering? Yeah? time. Those folks coming back to the square. Are you folks cheering for Portugal CR7? All right. I think we're ready for the game. And who's cheering for football? Come on! All right, enjoy the game. We're about to start. One more try for Portugal. One more try for Spain. All right, enjoy the game, everyone.
That's cute. I'm gonna be so big. I won't even be able to walk down the street.
The future is already here. Next starts now.
It's World Cup time. 1, 2, kickoff. Goal on. Yes, cheers up. Smooth out. Game on.
Smooth out. Don't tell me you lost your debit card. Don't worry, you can just... No, block my card to be mine. No, I was gonna say you can just check with the VAR. I don't know what all the fuss is about. I like VAR.
Let's get you back to Dallas for the second half. It is goalless between Portugal and Spain. Martin Tyler with the call.
Welcome back to Dallas, where we have reached a landmark which I must tell you about. It's very special actually. Since the first World Cup in 1930, over 50 million supporters have watched matches in World Cup Stadium. That record has been reached today, here at Dallas, in today's match. So I guess congratulations FIFA first of all.
Yeah.
The World Cup, which reaches of course its centenary with the next edition. That's some turnout.
Certainly is.
Well, Spain out and raring to go. The referee is in place. And finally, it's making a moment. Cristiano Ronaldo. Coming on as at the top of the belt. Followed by the Hawks in red as they go head to head again. To try and separate. Geographically, there's obviously a very narrow divide between the two countries, and Andy Townsend, a very narrow divide between the two football teams.
Yeah, nothing much to do between them, Martin. Spain edged it in the first half, but only just. Still a great opportunity for either team here to score first and go and put themselves in pole position.
Well, that search for the opening goal goes on from the start of the second half. Here's Oyarzabal. He's still running that first half. South got away from him. He knows he's got the capacity to still win the game. Neto speeding up the match again as he loves to do. His teammates gradually getting up with him.
Just as good as chops back there, Pedro Neto to just away, and that's a poor ball from Bruno Fernandes in the end. Comes to nothing. I think Pedro Neto keep going. He's got Emmerich Laporte, he's backing him up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. I think both teams have got to be a little braver in the last third.
Yes, it's not exactly risk averse, but no one's taking too many, are they?
No, not enough, I don't think. Just looking at the options available to both coaches, but Roberto Martinez really does have some strong options forward-wise, attacking-wise on that bench with Rafael. exceptional. These are very gifted players.
Here's Ruben Diaz. Chopping back infield again, and then maybe trying to get to the outside to get a throw after this. No, he won't. Spain, it's their 17th World Cup, going back when looking at the history of the competition. 13th in a row, being sturdy competitors, culminating in that success in South Africa back in 2010, where they beat Portugal in the round of 16 in Cape Town, 1-0. Could be 1-0 here. Could be out there.
That much contact with Dani Olmo. The ball just got away, but the action says it all. But Nathan Phillips gives the free kick and what a chance.
It's the big Spanish fan. Yeah, too happy about him. Very well known in his home country as an actor and producer as well. Famous fans for the Spain brigade here.
Without anything significant on target.
Trying to edge Portugal into a press they don't really want to do, you feel. Dani Olmo, in periods in the first half, found a lot of space. Missed the back pass there. Olmo goes across, helps out Cucurella. Individual battles going on all over the pitch, through the wide areas.
Yeah, strong there, wasn't he? I mean, they stood up and the back in and probably knew exactly where Alonso Vega was behind him. Stayed on his feet nicely, timely interception.
On the ball from Ruben Diaz, Cucurella underneath it. Taylor's referee Mark Cucurella many times. Coutinho came back. Number 10, but he's not absolutely going to outrun you. Christian Vieri.
Yes, it's Christian Vieri. It is. What a goal he had.
Italy, of course, very much Australia as well. Good to see them there. This is what Olmo is good at, finding space.
Yes.
Keeping the game ticking over.
First time Lamine Yamal set him up and really sprinted beyond him. Nuno Mendes on that occasion was on the other side. Alex Baino's got to get in the box. They've got to have more presence in the area, Spain. There are times when people are making good runs, getting into good situations and not enough people in that box.
Nuno Mendes was only bruised in the area of pride rather than any actual physical injuries up on his feet, and Spain maybe look to work that side again. Look around. Rodri. Covered the side. Ibasi. Portugal trying to exploit some space behind them. Ronaldo.
Nuno Mendes is done, Martin.
Yeah, maybe it was more than pride.
That's a big problem. Portugal, that is. Because he is a significant part of what they've got going forward and making sure he gets back. But that sort of look on his face suggests that his race is run.
He's the player who's had most touches in the game for Portugal.
Sort of lunged in, didn't he? Because Lamine Yamal had stolen a yard from him. Sort of look about Martin, but when you stretch like that, it can be a hamstring, be anything, but they're not signalling to the bench yet, are they? But you need to
Diogo Dallo, who can play right back or left back. Nelson Semedo. You can say the same thing about him as well. So they're not short of cover, but he is very much the main man. Messages going back to the bench. Superstar in the NFL. Austin McPhee with the long hair is organising the change, which firstly Nelson Semedo.
yes.
He was summoned into the match. It's a toss of a coin match, isn't it?
It is. This is the first enforced change, really. Does that give Lamine Yamal a little bit more hope? I mean, now you've got a right-footed left back, so when Lamine steps inside in his left foot, he's going into Semedo's strength a little bit. I said before that when you come on as a sub, sometimes it's not quite so easy to pick it up, the pace of the game and the intensity of it.
One thing that Spain will play off will be that talk about the Lamine Yamal, whether he'll beat Semedo or not, but Nuno Mendes won't be galloping into Spanish territory down the left-hand side, which he loves to do and have done successfully against him before. Semedo's quick, but he's not quite that kind of he's not starting out to him, is he? That's the word. Incredible word, Andy dynamic. And Porro is pretty dynamic himself. Bernardo Silva will go with himself then. He's been able to get himself breaking into the team. Making moving Portugal's going to go to Atletico Madrid. All the forms were signed, everything, and the plane was there, and then the plane took him to Real Madrid. So it was a very late approach, but a successful one. In Turkey now, having left Wolverhampton Wanderers in English football, he had 5 years. Was at Barcelona before that. Good pedigree, good player. Ronaldo, a good yard offside, I would say. Went up straight away. Pedri's ball for Danny Olmo.
I think once it's a sort of game, we've got one player out there that's really on top of his game. I think we've got a lot better playing very steady and playing very well. People really sparking, absolutely.
Well, certainly in an attacking sense, yeah. Defenders are dominating, whether they're being challenged enough. I think Andy's got a good point, but there's Baena had a good shot in the first half. Danny Olmo just trying to roll in behind the Portuguese defence. A little bit of extra acceleration from Bruno Fernandes. He is a player in an attacking sense that would be feeling he contribute more to Portugal's chances of winning. Not because he's not been involved in the game, it's not been a game to suit his particular talents. But his particular talents can win a game like this, that's for sure. Here's Jan Neves. Nathan Phillips. Small margins.
It's the right idea from Jack Phillips. He makes a nice run now, but he's having to wait for it, sort of hanging in the air a little bit, trying to adjust his feet.
And put pace into it.
Get something significant on it, Martin. Yeah, he couldn't do either, really.
Breaks away of Mark Cucurella. Pedri and Rodri. Since that shot from Alex Baena in the 16th minute, their last shot on target, Spain. So although they're in a way catching the eye, they're flattering in that respect. They did go forward a lot in the first half. He's not done quite so much in the second. Maybe had quite so much controlled possession. Here he is again, the young man. Another young man. Not 19 until next week.
Really good work, Jack Phillips there. He's back on top of his full-back who's just come on, Nelson Semedo. He intercepts that pass from the main and then hits the floor. And we've just got shreds, and that's good work.
Everton's just totally control. Spain's
That's a great situation. Yeah, poor giveaway. From perspective, it looks like the Montenegro's got a little touch on that. Danny Olmo heads up, finds Pedri on the edge of the box, exactly where you want to be as a central midfielder. People are flying out at him, a little deflection, but another Spanish corner.
now gone. Spain looking to open the scoring here. Bertini could have got it further away than that. That's led to another corner. So the Yamal was poised on the edge of the area, suddenly came onto it.
Diego Costa there, it's exactly what you want. The ball's up there, it's hanging a little bit, and your goalkeeper can't find it. He did that perfectly.
Signed a new contract with Porto recently, but they've lowered the buyout clause, which suggests that there might be a move in the offing. It's a very nice switch of play to João Cancelo. He's kept on running into the middle. He's capable of getting a goal himself in other positions as well as fullback. And lost his bearings, lost the ball. Now Vitinha. And just forward by Pedro. Malicious intent and none taken. Marcelo, Vitinha, now Pedro Neto setting off, wanting it back, maybe not wanting it back, but he was coming back.
Yeah, João Cancelo trying to return the ball to Pedro Neto.
I'm sure there was a halfway, sorry.
No, it was a bit ambitious, that one.
Well, we're looking at really fine margins here, aren't we?
On the bench.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the bench. I think soon we'll start some changes. Neither coach really wants to show their hand first. And when I say changes, Mike, I mean attack-minded changes. Changes with intent to make the difference, not just to fill a gap or replace someone who's struggling a little bit. I'm talking about a change that can just give us a different look about what we're witnessing.
Portugal had the crossbar in the first half.
Nicely done by Pedro. They could play tick-tackle within the team, couldn't they? Perhaps a different approach from Luis de la Fuentes. Everyone really holding their breath in the ground, waiting for a decisive moment, because there has to be one. First, they can go down the outside, but they're really now through the middle of the opposite flank. Nice one. So they're trying to get away.
That is just for a moment then when the Minimal switch that ball from left to right, it looked like something might happen, but again, fizzled out a little too quickly.
20 minutes played in the second half. Still no real clue as to which way it's going to go. But I think plenty of clues that it's going to be narrow. He's looking at it thinking, Coquereo likes to get into goal scoring positions, so doesn't he? Fullback. He's just standing and sitting on the edge of the pitch now.
Wants to get people in there. Danny Olmo turns around to his teammates and says, come on guys, where are we?
Yeah.
We want to get in the box. We've just got one in there, then the delivery's got to be inch perfect. Watson and others trying to get in there. And you've really got to battle to get in there, Martin. You've got to put your foot to the floor and try and sprint past your opposite man. You're not just going to go hide in there and roll something in the back of the net. You've got to sprint.
Pretty consistent on players going to ground what he believes is cheaper. Fans had their different view on that one. Everybody working so hard off the ball. It's so difficult for a team with the ball to make the opening, which would be so precious. Basset. Possession for Spain.
Canada isn't just pretty, it's powerful. And our government has a plan to unlock that power. As the world races towards clean energy, Canada's government will use our natural advantage to build world-class energy projects that bring down costs, create thousands of new jobs, and lower emissions. We'll build a cleaner future in a way that only Canada can. A message from the Government of Canada.
If I eat 2 acres every day and chose like one topping each time, how long would it take to taste it? Centuries?
Okay, let me tell you a question. If Portugal beats Spain, did they make friends or did they win the World Cup?
Era of going handball, we played well, you know.
What if England lost in the
Certainly a change for Portugal. Rafael Leao.
Rebellion making like 2 goals.
Finals come off here.
That was a curse though, apparently.
Too.
I don't know.
Gabriel is off.
Fuck this guy.
And Nathan Phillips as well. Experience right back or left back probably could play some midfield, really offers a bit of option for Portugal defensively and you never know.
I like him. I really like Leo. I think he's looking to produce something a little different, and that's what this game needs. It's what it feels like is going to settle this contest, is someone producing something a bit special, and he can do that.
On the edge of the area.
Those eyes looking at Anthony Taylor as if to say, you're going to show him a card.
This Semedo, the substitute, and you said earlier about how It isn't easy to settle in. He's had a few minutes now, but he still doesn't look super settled.
No, I think Lamine will fancy his chances on a consistent basis against Nelson Semedo.
If he's smart, he should pass it. I think he should try banging it in.
Is it a meeting around the ball?
He's definitely going to pass it. I know deep down he wants to try banging it in. He's not messing with him, too. He's not messing with him.
That's all the other Spurs players were thinking. Stardust in those boots. Gets again the boots from Stardust.
And maybe certainly did. Hit it hard, didn't he? Straight out the goalkeeper. Diego Costa just goes his right arm, tips it over, takes no chances with it, but powerful strike.
Spain corner. Goalkeeper has to reach for it again. And Semedo says,
Don't just hit it out.
let's get it upfield. There's activity in the Spain dugout as well.
Often the case, Martin, as soon as one coach makes a couple of changes, there's usually a response.
Torres, favourite of Belafontes, is another one that he's had since a kid, since a youngster. He thinks, actually said publicly, he doesn't quite get Torres did claim that he's actually such a modest, nice guy, player. He doesn't seek publicity. He won't be the most famous number 7 on this pitch, will he?
Nick a goal, can't he? Torres, finish.
24 goals and 61 caps. These coaches. Here is Nathan Phillips. Legacy scored a hat-trick against Germany. He's possibly doing this 5 years ago now.
Portugal sold there and then lost the ball.
Square passes. Buccarello waiting out on the left. On the
How
right.
did England not get full-footed, bro?
Pedri, Daniel was set off. I'm not sure to spin and swivel to get a pass through to. Didn't come. Pedro's get the ball. Wasting possession in the search for an opening. And Torres is the kind of run that could decide the game.
Yeah. Just skipped off the surface and got away from Ferran Torres there. Kind of slower build-up, which Spain will give it to him a little bit at times. Just gives Portugal a better chance to get set, get in, and get blocked, and pick those runners off a little bit. There's a bit of speed in their attacking play, but he hasn't been able to find the final ball yet to give someone a real given edge chance.
Has picked himself up again when he's on the ball and surprisingly got rid of it, but then he's fooled us all because he's made a run behind off the ball. The shot!
Brilliant work. Versus Reda goes to ground to try and block. With a big centre half is behind his teammate and stretches out brilliantly to block it.
Confirmation on the huge screen here, 70,649 today's attendance.
Chill, don't say that. Chill.
Spain's corner is not dealt with particularly well by Diogo Costa. Spain have got it back again.
Watch out.
That's interesting to see whether that does touch. Have a look from this. Kind of went underneath his arm almost, didn't it? Quite across the side of his chest, didn't it?
That's what they were asking for, but Ferran Torres has now given them a point in their attack.
Yes, he has.
And here is the minimal. He's always sharp in his work. That's with the corner. That's the way. Easy one to give that. I don't think the other one was even checked, was it? Did the player slide into the ground? Rodri was caught out. We're going to see Bernardo Silva and Francisco Conceição, that played for Portugal in the World Cup 20 years ago.
Roberto Martinez wants to give Cristiano Ronaldo the ultimate goal scorer, yes.
And the penalty taker of launch. That's a long way to go. It's a long way to go. Ferran Torres again. Fernandes was possibly would have been a difficult ball and probably would have been given away, which maybe the sensible approach from the senior assistant on the pitch and in the tournament. Here's Rafael. For a long time, so there is talk that it will be moving on this summer.
So real pace there and determination, didn't he, to try and get beyond Pedro.
there. Good spot by Bruno Fernandes to get ahead of the winger. They couldn't switch the play.
So if Arsenal make your guys go to the final.
And here come the latest Portugal changes. That would be the last ones unless we go to extra time. Neto as well. Sergio Conceição, who is very similar in the sense he's a left-footed right winger. So left-footed is Bernardo Silva.
So what's the Mexico watch the Olympic match, bro?
Who is on his extraordinary move away from Manchester City, where he's been almost a perfect player.
But that's the inspired.
For Coutinho. So off we go. Well, that's not going to be a corner. It's a free kick anyway. And Mikel Merino, a very versatile character. Something to play for Spain.
Someone who can pinch a goal, Martin, more importantly. Mikel Merino's good in wide free kicks or corners that are coming in and often get on the end of something in the box.
Just checking the 5 substitutes that have been used by Portugal, which means unless we go to extra time, Cristiano Ronaldo will play the 90 minutes.
Fabian Ruiz as well, by looks.
50 player. Another of the PSG contingent. Ferran Torres. Looking in also Bernardo Silva. Given so much pleasure to the Premier League as a player, of course, but as a person as well. Man of great integrity.
Position around the edge of the box. However, this work is done. It's an opportunity now for Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Merino.
There's the menu now. Trying to find some space to run into.
Great run, son. Great run.
Very sad. Meaning now again, appreciative of space on this near side. Fabian Ruiz.
I do think in a minute, Martin, Minimar will go on his own. I really do. I mean, brilliant run there. Again, he looks up, he tries to switch it out to the opposite side of the field. If he can, I'd love to see him try and do it on his own, because I think he can get into a shooting position himself.
There's Marc Laporte. Bucharest. Kept their starting back 4 together, Spain. Still had to change theirs because of an injury. Tabasi. USA or Belgium await the winners. But who will be the winners? It remains a mystery here in Dallas.
USA or Belgium?
They're trying to force mercy on him for misjudgment. Fascinator, and in Spain's way there. Even when Spain get into these sort of positions, they do look the more dangerous team. Marino, two has a hat-trick in international football to his name. And he's only been really a makeshift striker. Minimal. Torres.
I think we could have hit one with his left foot. And then eventually he kind of just turned that opportunity down, and then it's one pass too many.
Used to winning trophies, has won 11 with Manchester City.
Silver gets the card because he's the one who goes. I mean, that really isn't a sensible challenge, because there's no point in complaining. It's a definite yellow card challenge. His foot is not there. That's silly, because he needs his energy to get close to people and to stop people from playing and picking passes, and that means now he's got to be ultra careful.
Taylor has produced the yellow card. I think his personality and his experiences control the fixture very well. A game that could easily develop into a rubber needle. Ronaldo trying to sneak in here. Sure, the flag would have come up.
Yeah, it was in an offside position actually, in fairness.
Taking them into the 6 added minutes before extra time.
To create something significant. It's kind of just found it. Portugal to serve this ball forward at every opportunity now.
Here's Ferran Torres. Can't get away. A red flag for the team in red now. They have to find something to get to. They're still in the World Cup to extend the luxury World Cup career there. Captain and iconic for Cristiano Ronaldo to extend the tenure of Roberto Martinez in the job. So there's desperation in their minds, but the lovely calmness with their feet. Very well played.
Good ball carriers to this job, the field. Scraps his shirt, takes the yellow card.
Take his team into the World Cup quarter-finals. But it's not done yet. Nicely set. Oh, shit! One out the play there, will keep it alive. Have to score to keep themselves alive in this wonderful tournament. Semedo. Here's Ruben Diaz. You get hit in the middle if a cross comes in. You should be going there now. The runners are in there. This is really the last knockings. Well onside was Marina up on the big screen in the stadium there, showing a graphic of that. And the fans, Portuguese fans who might have felt a short change by that. Here's Vega. Deservedly showed in this.
I said there was never going to be much in this game, Martin. I think what we witnessed with our eyes suggests that. But it's just about the moment. These big moments separate these sort of teams in these sort of games, and you just hope it's your team that grabs it. Spain have got it. Portugal have literally got seconds left now if they want to stay in this competition. Come in the box, it's going to go in.
It does. It does because wide to cross the shot. And he's taken out of the complacency in his own club mates. A whisker.
A little bit taller, look, can just get a back a little bit higher and might have been able to pop that in the net.
They have still one change the tall striker ball Iglesias is on for Sarasaga. Is showing the attack to the ball. we had it in the last game here, didn't we? Where there would have been a winning goal. This would have been an equalising one. He does get a touch. Reverses. Eyes on Zutella. And that's Portugal play on.
Not the best performance, but they found a way. You know, you got to take your chances in the first half. They kind of missed their opportunity to score that first goal. But yeah, great movement from Torres, the ball from Torres, and great finish from Marino.
They've got more Steve Clark here. They're unbeaten, and then Steve Clark used to say that was good football. Well, they got the job done.